All right, the next three problems. Working together, Al, Bob, and Carl. That's really nice. That's ABC. Can lift 240 pounds. So that means that the amount that Al plus the amount that Bob plus the amount that Carl can lift is equal to 240 pounds. And we also know that, and I'm going to hold a second, I'm going to help myself out here a little bit by providing a space. I also know that Bob plus Carl plus Dan can lift 250 pounds. So that means Dan can lift 10 more pounds than Al. Hope Al doesn't like that so much. And then it goes on to say that Carl, Dan, and Al can lift 260 pounds. So you see how I am stacking this so that we have the A's, B's, and C's in such a way that they're all vertically stacked. So let's see, we have one more equation. We have Al plus Bob plus Dan, so that's excluding Carl. And so that is equal to 270 pounds. And the question is, how many pounds can they lift if all four men work together? Find the trick. This is the trick. Notice how I have 3 A's, I have 3 B's, I have 3 C's, and I have 3 D's. I don't care how much any one of these men can lift. I only care about how much they can lift together. So, I'm not going to try to find how much Al, Bob, Carl, or Dan can lift. I'm just going to figure out how much they can all lift together. So really what I want is 1A plus 1B plus 1C plus 1D is equal to a number. So that's what I'm really looking for in this one. And this number is going to be the answer. All right, so I need to add these things together. So, all right, so 240 plus 270 is 510. This is another 510, right? So that is 1,020. So again, I just said these two were 510. These two together is 510. So I add it together. So now, if I divide everything by 3, guess what I'll have? 3A divided by 3 is A. 3B divided by 3 is B. 3C divided by 3 is C. Okay. What was it? 1,020, I believe, divided by 3. All right. And so 3 goes into 10 3 times with 1 left over. 1 left over. 3 goes into 12 4 times. All right. So together they can lift 340 pounds. That's the trick. I don't care about any one of the men individually. I just care about them as a group. All right. Kenny, you killed Kenny. Kenny is playing on the mall escalator. He can run up the down escalator in 30 seconds. And it takes him 6 seconds to run up the up escalator. How many seconds would it take Kenny to run up the flight of stairs that is in between the escalators? All right, so this is kind of like a current, right? Because when he's running up the down escalator, so that's Kenny's speed minus the speed of the escalator, right? And it takes him 30 seconds. But Kenny plus the speed of the escalator, that's only going to take 6 seconds. So we want to know how much, we just want to know how fast Kenny can go up and down without the aid of the escalator speed. So that's really all we need to figure out in this case. So how do we go about doing that? Now to do this, I'm going to employ a little trick. So if it takes him 30 seconds, how many flights of this staircase, or this escalator, could he do in 1 minute? I need a distance, right? Well, because I know that rate times time is equal to a distance, right? So if he could go 30, if it takes him 30 seconds for one flight, in 1 minute, he will go 2 flights. So I know that Kenny's rate minus the escalator is going to be equal to 2 flights of stairs in 1 minute. Because 30 plus 30, 60, 60 seconds a minute. Using the same logic, Kenny plus the rate of the escalator, if he can run up the escalator going with the direction of the current, the escalator, in 6 seconds, how many flights can he run in 1 minute? Well, 10, because 6 seconds times 10 is 60 seconds, which is a minute. Oh, look, I have opposites again, so just add. So I get 2k is equal to 12, so Kenny could run 6 flights of stairs in 1 minute. But is this my answer? No. Because he can, so this is flights of stairs. I don't want to know how many flights of stairs that he can run in 1 minute. I want to know how long it'll take him to run just 1 flight of stairs. Well, if he can go 6 flights in 1 minute, that's 1 flight in 10 seconds, right? So 60 seconds divided by 6 flights. So Kenny's rate is actually 10 seconds up the staircase in the middle. Hope that wasn't too convoluted. All right. Shane thinks of 3 integers. He added 2 at a time. Their sums are 37, 41, and 44. What is the product of the 3 integers? All right. So we're thinking of 3 integers. So let's see. Let's call the integers a, b, and c, which means a plus b is equal to, I'm just going to pick the lowest number. And also, a plus c is going to be equal to 41, which means b plus c, or whatever, c plus b, it doesn't matter either, is equal to 44. All right. So, if this is true, then that means that C is equal to 44 minus B. So instead of this B, what could I write? Instead of this C, what could I write? I could write 44 minus B. So that means that A plus 44 minus B is equal to 41. Which also means that A plus B is equal to 37. All right, this is getting to be something I can handle, right? So let's subtract 41 from both sides. 44 from both sides, I'm sorry. So you get A minus B is equal to -3. Yeah, all right. That's not too bad, right? So A minus B is equal to -3. And yet A plus B is equal to 37. This is just like one of the first problem, isn't it? And so when I add them together, I get 2A, the B's cancel out, and so 2A is equal to 34, which means A is equal to 17. All right, so what are we being asked? What is the product of the 3 integers? So to find the product of the 3 integers, I have to multiply them together, which means I need to know the 3 integers. Well, if A is 17, that means B, I'm going to have a little thing, A is equal to 17. B has to equal 20, because 20 plus 17 is 37 on this version. For C, if A is 17, so subtract 17 from 41, and I will get 24. And that works, because 20 plus 24 is 44. All right, so now I need to multiply them together. Great. So I'm going to totally cheat, because it's late and I want to go home. And you can multiply it by hand on your own. There you go. So this is our product. All right, last question. 4 neighbors go to purchase letters to spell their house numbers at a local hardware store. Each letter is priced separately, of course. 4 neighbors go to purchase letters to spell the... Geez, why would you do that? Why don't you just use Arabic numbers? That's when you know it's late, when you start arguing with the math problem. Each letter is priced. Okay, the first neighbor who lives in house number 1 purchases the letters O and E for $2. So that means 3x is equal to $2. All right. The second neighbor buys 2 TWO for 3. Okay, that's not enough. Okay, so each number is left priced separately, which means I can't do what I want to do. All right. And the third pays $5 for the letters to spell 11. How much will it cost to make the word 12? All right, well, 12 is made up of letters from 1, 2, and 11. That's nice. All right, so we know that O plus N plus E is equal to $2. We know that T plus W plus O is equal to $3. And we know that 3 times E plus L plus V plus N is equal to $5. And we want to know what is T plus W plus 2E plus L plus V. What does this equal? So that's what we're trying to figure out. Yuck. What a mess. What a mess, what a mess, what a mess. All right, so how are we gonna do this? What equations are we going to put together to make this doable? So I'm looking at this and I have O's, N's, E's, T, W, V. I have 6 letters. For me to solve a problem with 6 different variables, I need 6 equations. So there's got to be another way. There just has to be another way. So let's figure this out. So to get a T, I would have to buy a 2, right? So if I buy 2 for $3, T, that's a T, a W, so there's my W, and an O. Okay, so this is extra. So I'm going to put a blue box around this one because I don't need this O. All right, for 11, so what else? So I need 2 E's. I don't want to buy the 1. So if I had 2 E's, so that means I can use 2 of the E's here, but that means I'll have 1 E left over. So we got the 2 E's from here, right? The L, got the V, and I don't need an N, right? So if I buy 2 and 11, I will be able to write the word 12 because I just need 2. And what will I be left over? I'll have an O, an N, and an E left over. Oh, wait a second. I'll have an O, N, E. That's 1. Well, 1 is $2, right? So if I buy a 2 and an 11, that's a total of $8. But I'll have a 1 left over, O-N-E, which is $2. So 8 minus 2 is equal to $6. It will cost me $6 to buy the letters for 12. Woohoo! That one's tricky.